Sometimes you just have a really bad day, you feel overwhelmed, you feel anxious, stressed, depressed, maybe all those at the same time, and nothing you did helped. And maybe you feel a state of desperation. And sometimes the best thing we can do when nothing else works is just stay busy. Stay busy. Pick out things you can do to keep yourself moving, especially things that you really don't want to do, things that you're putting off. Cleaning is really good because it helps you arrange your environment so that you feel in control of your life. It's symbolic, having a clean environment. Or doing things that you put off, paying certain bills, or handling things that are really tedious. Force yourself to do something that really requires your attention, something that would really, if you achieved it, it would really raise your self-confidence. Maybe you were putting it off for weeks or months. Choose that task to really distract yourself and give you something to think about besides your problems. It's like creating a new problem, but it's a problem that you chose for yourself. Rather than having these problems all the time that just happen to us, that are just seemingly forced upon us, it's nice to choose things that make us uncomfortable for ourselves on our own terms. Because when you choose to go through something uncomfortable, it's different because it's all about interpretation. So we say, I am feeling terrible today, I am suffering, I am sick, or I am depressed, anxious, whatever it is. And we say, I'm suffering. But then there's also things that we can do to help ourselves that will also make us very uncomfortable. And we could say that that's suffering as well, but it's all about perspective. If you choose to do something for a good reason on your own terms, then yes, you're uncomfortable, but you're not really suffering because you're doing something that you want to do and that you are happy to do, or that you know will be good for you. And if you're doing something that's good for you, you should be happy about it. It's all perspective. So when you go through something and make yourself uncomfortable, it's important to realize that perspective is important. Remember to be positive about what you're doing. You're doing something to help yourself, to make yourself uncomfortable, but it's on your own terms. And you're doing it for a good reason. This is not something you are a victim of. It's something you chose for a good reason. So you should feel good about it. So staying busy, doing things that will raise your self-confidence is really important for a distraction, for increasing your self-confidence. Stay busy. Stay busy until the moment you go to sleep. Whatever you need to do. And you'll see that ultimately you'll feel better. In actuality, for depression, in cognitive behavior therapy, we use something called behavioral activation. And behavioral activation is where you're depressed, but you act anyway. And this is actually a solution to depression, acting even though it's difficult. And as I said before, when you're depressed or when you're anxious, you may feel like doing something to make yourself uncomfortable is the last thing you want to do. But actually, it's exactly what you really need. Because the more uncomfortable you are while doing something, the better it will make you feel ultimately. Because think of it, we do things all the time that are easy. And what does that matter? You do something that's easy, it means nothing. But you do something that's difficult, it means all the difference in the world. It means everything. It makes all the difference in the world. So it's really good to do things that are difficult because you chose them on your own terms. It's a really great thing to do.